The fifth iceberg had been knocked over, or blown over, and was lying broken on the lawn. So this could be my bad. It's a good idea to leave around 2 to 3 centimetres or 1 inch of clear space where the mulch is not actually touching the collar of that trunk. There's this tiny slither of capillaries and cells that is still connected, and that's why I've brought the gaffer tape with me and some twine. And I'm going to try to just create a protective cocoon for this, so it can at least still attempt to pump water up to the rest of the plant. Okay, so here's the plan. I'm going to cut a strip of this jute webbing, and I'll tie this to the trunk, which I've gaffer taped together now. If I can get enough twine around this, I hope it'll protect it from wind, cats, or whatever's knocked this over in the first place. So the way that I've got to the figure of around 23 years as the probable age for these icebergs is because my neighbours have been here for 18 years, and this row of icebergs was already established then. It could be more because the house is 31 years old. Maybe they were planted with the house. This is all speculation. And there's an important question, and it's not been answered. Here's Sam Spade with the killer question. He still hasn't learned to look at the right part of the camera yet. So, who did this? Assume it wasn't me. I like that. It's a good question. And it's that sort of point in one of those dark, moody detective movies where you return to the original suspects to see if their stories check out and which one has the motive. Well, that's pretty easy. They both have. And here's the first major suspect. And that's the brush turkeys. It's brush turkey season, and right now they've come down from the hills, and as you can see, they're everywhere. And they will sneak into your garden because the thing about brush turkeys is they love mulch. Or more specifically, they love to trash mulch. I know, this is not really mulch, but you get the idea. This is Buzz, by the way. So-called because of the haircut. Sorry, mate. So the brush turkeys are in town. And there's a lot of mulch for them to explore around the base of these icebergs. But then I noticed something else, which actually removes them as turkeys of interest. They didn't do it. And that's because I found a clue in the mulch. All this clawed out cat fur. And scattered mulch. So you'll notice a lot of this is grey and some of it is white. I just wonder who this could be. So this is Oregon. He's our neighbour's cat. Here, upstaging Dr. Huey. A perfidious feline who knows, deep down, that all of our balcony and all of our garden really belongs to him. Would it help if I said, and I know we're deep into this whodunit mystery now, but would it help if I said that although I like white roses, I wouldn't necessarily go out and buy an iceberg? No, it wouldn't help, because if I said that, then it would give me a motive. Stop typing. Okay, well, here's a confession anyway. I did buy an iceberg, but for a reason. Remember, these icebergs found me. I'm not the one who planted them. But there was a hole in the line when we moved in, because Iceberg 6 had died before we got here. I ended up putting that one I bought somewhere else, because I put a cutting in right by the dead one. And it took. One nice thing about icebergs is that they are one of those just stick them in the ground and they'll take roses. Often the most successful and popular brands are. The growers and retailers like easy to propagate breeds. Just ask Dr. Huey. And also, just ask me, because that's exactly what I did to replace Iceberg 6. Here's that little clone's progress from first flower, first Botrytis, and first black spotlight fungal, But that's not really fair. It is cloned from an infected plant. I do love this rose eye. Anyway, my point is I did just stick it in the ground, and it grew. In terms of the icebergs themselves, they'll give you a mid-sized white flower, although they're not highly perfumed, but they'll still produce that basic rose fragrance. Over the years, sports have added spontaneous colour and a climber to the range. Of course, in damp conditions, the white flowers will turn pink for you anyway, for free. They're a floribunda, so you will get lots of flowers on umbral stems. And even if icebergs are not my, preferred white rose, I do like these ones. In fact, I'd go so far as to say, I love these ones. For their presence and for their twisty gnarled silver shapes, which you definitely can't get from a garden centre. I think the weight of a body, a flying cat body, in mid-catfight, actually smashed into and dropped this iceberg. And the evidence for this is building. There's even an indentation in the mulch here, which is cat paw sized. This was cleared last night, but now there's a trail of mulch on the lawn. And a cat paw print in the ground, which doesn't really show up on the camera here. But you can't really have a cat fight without two cats. We know about the black and white fur, but whose is this grey fur? Well, that's quite easy to identify as well. I don't really know this one's name. Perhaps we can call him Mr. Fluffy of the Storm Drain. And this is where the footage kind of runs out here, which actually puts us right at the end, but just as it begins. But it is true, this is not the end. So please join me for part 3, where we meet one more suspect and find a way through to solving who did drop this iceberg. Oh, and I promise no more cat pics. Well, just this one. Plus, feeding your icebergs and chewed up flowers and more. See you then. Thanks so much. Take care.